episode, I'll be reviewing Gremlins, and I'll be doing a little bit of info on the podcast that's coming up in January. Proud, it's live, so you make fumbles. I am thrilled to announce the first guest for that podcast that I was talking about, the Terra Firma podcast, will be legendary horror actor Michael Berryman. He's had a career in acting that spanned over 5 decades and been in films like One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, Devil's Rejects, obviously The Hills Have Eyes is one he's probably most known for. Films like Weird Science and Star Trek The Voyage Home. He's been in a whole range of movies, but we mainly talked about his horror career. So that should be the second week in January. That should be going up. I'll give you an exact date right now. It should be the 14th. Maybe 21st. At this moment, it's going to be the 14th. We'll play it by ear. So that's the first guest. I'll be announcing who else will be coming on the show probably next Friday. I have a couple more interviews coming up, so I'll wait till they're recorded before I announce them. So let's get to the little review of Gremlins. First couple of things I remember about Gremlins. First time I watched it was I was probably about 4, 5. I was a fan of films like The Goonies and stuff like that at the time, so it was an obvious type of movie to watch. I didn't know it was first intended to be like a straight horror film. It was going to be gory, it was going to be violent, and then when Steven Spielberg came on as producer, he decided to lighten the tone and add more humour, which is probably a good thing because I don't think the film would have held up as well or be as loved as it is if it was a straight horror film. It's directed by Joe Dante, who had previously directed Piranha for, I believe, Roger Corman, The Howling, and the third segment of The Twilight Zone before doing Gremlins. It was written by Chris Columbus, who had previously wrote Goonies for Spielberg, and then went on to become a successful director himself, doing movies such as Home Alone, Mrs. Doubtfire, and the first 2 Harry Potter films. So it has a really strong pedigree if you look at the director, the writer, the producers. The film has a great look. The cinematography in it is amazing. It holds up, in my opinion, down to the one particular thing, which is it hasn't got CG in it, which if you look at a lot of 80s movies with incredibly early CG, they just look like crap now. This film had animatronics, it had puppets, it had awesome looking puppets. It still look cool to this day. It starred Zach Galligan, who arguably didn't really go on to star in another movie that was of the same magnitude, but has had a lengthy career and doesn't appear to age. If you actually see photos of him nowadays, he does not look any older. Also had Ridgemont High actress Phoebe Cates and Judge Reinhold, who was in pretty much every 80s movie. They shot Gremlins on the same Universal backlot set that was used for Back to the Future. So the theatre that blows up in Gremlins is also where, let me think how I can put this. If you remember in Back to the Future, Michael J. Fox smashes into the front entrance of the film at the end of the film. So it's the same theatre set. It then burnt down, I think, just after Back to the Future 2 was filmed, so I don't think many films were really filmed on that lot in the 80s. As I said, produced by Spielberg, he cameos in the film, so does composer Jerry Goldsmith. And as I said, my opinion, it holds up so well. You know, it's written incredibly well for a start, it's directed very well. The actors are great for the roles they've got, and the lack of CGI really helps with the film still looking good to this day. If you look at it, it's always, to me, it's always looked like it was filmed on a set, but apparently that was on purpose. they were trying to mimic films like, pardon me, films like A Wonderful Life, that type of look to the film. So that's what they were going for. You can point holes in some of the plot points and stuff, like you can't feed the Mogwai after midnight. So when can you feed it? Because if it's not midnight, it's after midnight. 5 p.m. is technically after midnight and before midnight. It's like you can't feed it between midnight and what time. Always slightly annoyed me that bit. The cops are just complete idiots in the film, and apparently there's only two in the whole town, which was a bit weird. But stuff like that secondary to the fact that you've got a fun plot. There's a lot of exciting type set piece moments in it. Obviously had the probably cutest little puppet in any film ever in Gizmo. So yeah, for me, this is a 4 out of 5 movie. I watch this film, if not every Christmas, most Christmases. There's like a list of films I watch. This is in that list. Die Hard's in that list as well. It's not usually It's a Wonderful Life or any of those types of movies. It's more ones like this. Next Friday, I'm reviewing Black Christmas, which I watched last when I was about 14. I probably saw it for the first time when I was about 10. And when I saw it at 14, it didn't hold up to what I remember it being at when I was 10. So I'm not expecting it to be as good as first viewing, but you never know. It is one of the first slasher movies, and it was due to success of that film that classics like Halloween got put into production. So it's an important film in that regards if you're a slasher fan. So that's coming next week, and the week after I'm reviewing Krampus just before Christmas. So that's the next 2 Fridays after this. I'll be doing one of these, and then there'll be a break till January where I'll be mainly giving you what's happening that week on horror films and in the news for horror, that type of thing. So this is just a little quick video for episode 1. So I will see you guys next Friday for the next one. Bye.